Welcome to Shaq's house. That's our Shaq. You're now in Shaq's house. That's our Shaq. Welcome to Shaq's house.
Hey, what's up, Shaq Housers? How you doing? It's your boy, the one and only Shaq House. Yes! Hope your week went well. Mine was pretty good. Did some things that I normally don't do, but that just made them all the more exciting and all the more empowering. That's right. And speaking of things that make you feel larger and more empowered, that's kind of the theme today that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about size-changing mutants. That's right. Will they grow in size or get smaller in size? That's right. I figured we'd go through all the different kind of size-changing mutants there are today. Well, not all the different kinds, but the specific kinds. The ones who grow mass from different dimensions and then get rid of their mass into those same dimensions in order to shrink. I'm not talking about people that can just increase their muscle mass, like Greystone from Bishop's Future, or Gentle, the half Wakandan, half Russian mutant with them vibranium tattoos. I ain't talking about him. Now, you're going to see what we're going to be talking about right about now.
Tower. Tower possesses the mutant ability to psionically access an extra-dimensional source both to and from which he can selectively add or subtract mass from his body's volume to proportionally alter his size and mass. He can shrink down to only a few inches tall or expand to over 60 feet tall, significantly increasing his strength and durability in the process to superhuman levels. Some fun facts. The Atlanta-born Tower is Dumb Muscle, but he was part of the Alliance of Evil, a team of mutant mercenaries assembled by Apocalypse before he gathered his first modern team of 4 horsemen. He later abandoned them, but the group still remained active until they were captured by X-Force during the Kings of Pain storyline. Tower was later seen terrorizing the inhabitants of a small South American village before the executioner killed him. He was later mentioned by the residents on Krakoa, so presumably he's been resurrected. Next, Marco Delgado. Marco Delgado was a mutant with the power to expand his physical proportions in order to exponentially increase his size, strength, speed, and durability to superhuman levels. Some fun facts. He was part of the group of mutants hunted by S.H.I.E.L.D. agents searching for Asteroid N to join Magneto as part of his original Acolytes. Now also, the leader of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents in pursuit of them, he was also named Delgado, but Harry was his first name. Now the Marvel Encyclopedia for X-Men reported that the Acolyte Delgado was really Harry Delgado. However, subsequent handbooks acknowledge him as a separate individual named Marco Delgado. This was even lampshaded during Delgado's first appearance by Wolverine and Beast during a discussion during a battle with the Acolytes. Next, Thumbelina and Slab. Thumbelina has the mutant power to compress her molecules into a smaller physical frame, enabling her to decrease her size and mass while proportionally increasing her strength and density. She can shrink herself to as small as half an inch tall and back to her regular form at will. Slab is a mutant who possesses enhanced strength and durability. He is also capable of expanding his body to at least 2 or 3 times its normal size, increasing his strength and durability further in the process. He reaches at least Class 50 superhuman strength when his growth limit is reached. Some fun facts. Thumbelina and Slab are a pair of Detroit-raised mutant siblings born with size-changing abilities that also gave them strange physical appearances. Thumbelina appeared first as an original member of the terrorist Mutant Liberation Front under Strife, and Slab appeared 2 years later as part of Mr. Sinister's Nasty Boys in the pages of X Factor, where Thumbelina and Slab's relationship was made clear. Thumbelina later appeared in a support group for body-conscious mutants, and larger than usual, which indicated that her power now goes both ways. But she and Slab have since joined Krakoa. Slab is a powerhouse guard in the pages of Sword, and Thumbelina, she's an emergency medic as seen here, indicating that she has some level of medical background. Next, Micromax. Micromax was born with the mutant ability to proportionally or selectively manipulate his mass. Like any standard megamorph, he can increase his size and strength at will, growing to over 50 feet tall with the resilience and physical power to match. He can also decrease his size and mass at will, shrinking down to only a few inches tall. Furthermore, Micromax can use his power to alter his physical appearance as well, such as shifting between a chiseled athletic body and one with a sagging gut and a receding hairline. Some fun facts. Scott Wright was an English radio DJ when his mutant power manifested, leading him to be recruited and later employed by various British government agencies. He later became a full-fledged mutant superhero and joined Excalibur, but later left the group to take a position in America as the head of security for the Brand Corporation, from which he later claimed to have been fired from. He joined Krakoa and was even nominated to be part of the main X-Men roster at one point. He didn't win the nomination and was later seen drowning his sorrows and proposing a group with other similarly powered mutants called Giant-Size X-Men. How clever. Next, Kidogo. Kidogo is a mutant born with the power of micromorphing. He can extra-dimensionally displace his own mass proportionately in order to shrink himself, and he can return to his normal proportions at will. Normally, standing over 6 feet tall, he can reduce himself to as small as 4 inches in height. Some fun facts. He was part of Xavier's school during the mid-2000s. He's Kenyan-born, but his code name and facial markings indicate a Swahili origin. He lost his powers on M-Day and may have been one of the kids on the bus that William Stryker blew up. However, that was never confirmed, and he has not been seen on Krakoa either. Okay, a little compare and contrast. For each of these mutants, their power involves accessing a subdimensional realm from which they can accrue mass to grow to an increased size, or shunt their own mass to this location to decrease their size. Additionally, their clothing and costumes also grow and shrink proportionally with them. But since their molecules are still linked, just dimensionally displaced, they retain their physical dimensions instead of just dispersing. Now this indicates that each of these mutants' powers grants them a dimensional connection. Just like Darkstar's mutant power gives her a link to the Dark Force dimension, I believe that each of these mutants are linked to the Microverse, the parallel pocket dimension accessible by shrinking, known in the MCU as the Quantum Realm, mind you. Also, it's a little known fact that the size-changing Pym particles, the formula that grants Ant-Man, the Wasp, Scott Lang, Cassie Lang, Bill Foster, etc. their size-altering abilities, it actually originates from one of the worlds in the Microverse. But let me give you a rundown right quick for those who don't know. The Pym particles are subatomic particles named after their discoverer, Dr. Henry Pym, that originate on a planet in the Microverse named Cosmos. On that scale, they're used as a pollen by the planet's indigenous insect population. But in Earth's dimension, exposure to the Pym particles creates a mass alteration field within the metabolism of a living being, causing the being to dramatically shrink or grow in size. The field also expands a short distance out from the being's body, which is what causes the user's clothing to shrink and grow along with them. Now these particles, they can also affect inanimate matter as well. Shrinking shunts an object's mass in the cosmos while enlarging accrues mass from there. It's also worth noting that the Pym particles, they control more than just size. They operate on a three-dimensional axis that varies size, strength, and durability along X, Y, and Z axes. Having access to the Microverse allows these mutants a certain degree of control over their mass and volume, not merely increasing their muscle mass like with mutants like Gentle or Greystone. Some of these mutants are just megamorphs, like Slab and Delgado, although how the latter gains an increase in speed to go along with his size is unexplainable. Some are just micromorphs, like Kidogo, and can just shrink. But Tower, Micromax, and apparently now Thumbelina, they can all do both. Though Micromax's power may involve limited shapeshifting, you see his power It most likely revitalizes his body cells and his DNA memory on a regular basis, which allows him to do away with his gut and baldness so he can look exactly how he did when he was a younger man. But that's just a theory of mine. Okay, I know this was pretty small, no pun intended, but that's what I got for you this week. Tune in next week, Shackhousers. I got another series for you then that I'll be looking at as well, too. Hope you have a good week. Later!
Mansion, apartment.
Shack, house. Yes!
Yeah.